Hello, welcome back again. So, if you remember the last video, we had Loop jumping around, we had gravity working, but we had him hanging by his head because Loop, the Loop sprite, was touching this green part of the platform, and whenever he's touching green, he won't fall. So, I said I'll show you a little trick for how to deal with that. It's a bit sneaky, but it works quite well. And the more you learn, the more you'll see that kind of thing goes on in a lot of programming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a new sprite, and I'm just going to make it bright pink. That won't matter later on. I just want something that shows up really clearly, and I'm just going to make this little block like that. Now that's a bit too big, so I'm going to go to vector mode and sort of reduce it a bit, and okay, that will do for now. And I'm just going to make sure, using the center here, that I've got that pretty much in the center. If you don't, then you'll find things messing up later, so just make sure that you're happy you've got it pretty much centered like that. So what I'm going to do now is actually this is the thing we're going to be controlling. This is actually going to be our character, but it's going to end up invisible. So that's going to seem pretty odd, but you're going to understand why in a moment. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of Loop's code onto this pink platform sprite. So I'm going to drag this one onto there, and I'm going to delete it from Loop. And I'm going to do the up arrow, the jumping part, onto there, and I'm going to delete it from Loop. And I'm keeping most of this. I'm only getting rid of the code that changes the X and Y position. So I do want to keep the code that deals with the costume, which was the first thing we did back in video 1, but I'm getting rid of change X and change Y, and moving over to our funny pink platform thing. Just move those out the way, and this one needs the code for changing the X and Y position. So I've got that. I'm going to duplicate, and make sure that's the right arrow and left arrow, and by -10. Now when I play, it's actually this pink platform that's jumping around. You can see Loop is still changing his animation, but it's the pink platform that's running around. So what's going on? Pretty weird. Next thing though, I'm going to make Loop follow this platform. So I'm going to go back to Loop, and I'm going to go to our green flag and a forever. And forever, I'm going to have Loop go to the X and Y position of this platform. So I'm going to, where's it, down here, X position. So the X position of sprite 1. Sprite 1 is the pink platform thing. And to start with, I'm going to go to the Y position of sprite 1, and let's run that. So now, really odd, we've got Loop following this platform. The platform can kind of jump around, but Loop's legs are hanging through the platform. To fix that, I just need to move Loop up a little bit on the Y position. So I'm going to go to operators, and moving up the screen is add. So I'm going to put the Y position of sprite 1, and then I need to add a number here. Something around 20. Just type in different numbers till you get it looking the way you want, maybe 24. And now perhaps you can start to see what's happening. Now we're starting to forget about that pink platform, and it looks like we've got Loop running around again. But the good thing is, because we're not checking if Loop is touching this green part, he's no longer going to hang from his head. I can fall off the platform the way a platform game should be. Let me move that back there, run again. So now I can jump around, jump from platform to platform, and let me duplicate this one, start to build up a bit more of a game here. I can jump to this platform, but I can also fall off the edge and fall off the edge of that one. And even if this platform was there, while I'm walking through it, so I'm walking in front of it, but I'm also falling off. And I can jump through platforms. So it looked like the pink thing disappeared, it's just behind the platform there. And now we pretty much have a platform game going. But I'm sure you don't like seeing this thing here. So all I'm going to do is hide it. So as soon as we click the green flag, I'm going to hide it. So it's there, but we can't see it. Press the green flag, and now Loop's running around, and the player's never going to know about this platform thing here, this secret platform that's actually doing the work of the jumping and moving. The player will never know, only the programmer knows. And I guess you'd probably find out that lots of things like that are happening in games that you like. What you see on the screen isn't necessarily what's happening in the code. Code is probably doing some other sneaky things in the background to make it look like everything's working the way we would expect in real life. So there we go. In 3 videos you can see we've got the basics of a little platform game going. I'm not going to show you any more here. I'll leave it up to you to develop this, to have enemies in, or collectibles, perhaps some violum for points, or a goal to get through. You remember, if you want to get rid of these, because these are not scores or anything, we don't want these showing, so I'll just untick those. Let's even put in another platform, and I can jump between platforms. Now if you remember, these platforms, I made them with a grey section. That's just so that it can look like he's on top of something. If it's fully green, then as soon as it hits the green, the pink platform, as soon as it hits green, it's going to stop. This way it can kind of look like there's at least some kind of ground that he's running on, and he's not right on the very edge. If you get this problem where he's behind platforms, just drag him, and he'll always be in front. So Scratch seems to be the last sprite that you drag. He's always on top. So there we have it, the basics of a nice platform game. Running left and right, we've got gravity, jumping around, beginnings of quite a fun game. And I've tried to do this in the simplest way possible. If there's a better way, an easier way, then I'd love to know. There are definitely different ways where you can have it much smoother and more realistic, but then the code starts to get more complex. There's a lot more math calculations going on, things to do with velocity, that are probably a topic for a more advanced video. Okay, hope you've been able to follow that, hope you've enjoyed that, and hope you enjoy making your own platform games with Loop, and I'd love to see them if you've made something. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll see you in another video.